Friday in my world. It is, I don't know what day it is. December 4th. How about that? I've been up a couple hours already and doing my miracle morning work. And I got a message from someone with the YouTube lyrics of the song Merry Christmas, where the girl goes to the grocery store, I think on Christmas Eve, and then runs into the guy that she's been trying to date all year, and it's a Christmas miracle. And I've always loved that song, honestly, and really the only thing I knew about was her going to the store. I didn't really understand the essence of the song until this morning when I read the lyrics, but it's really a fun kind of like bippity bop song. So that's kind of stuck in my head now. So who knows, I might break out into singing for you. No, I actually wouldn't torture you that way. So I got a big day. We are putting together all my programs in my entrepreneurial space and getting ready to update the website and start doing some other things. So it's getting very interesting for me. This weekend I am at it's called Writing Madly. So I'm going to be writing a book about how to hire virtual assistants, which I know this is the gambling show, but I'm just kind of sharing with you what's going on. So I'm writing a book about that. And then next weekend, I actually get to speak at a summit. So I got to prepare for that, which I'm hoping the book will do. And then the following week, I'm actually launching my first challenge to teach people how to hire VAs. And then into the new year, I'll be coaching people on how to get ready to actually utilize the VA. So kind of been focused on that. And here's what's interesting. In my miracle morning homework this morning, we had to write down 101 of our desires yesterday. And I'll tell you, it's really hard. Well, it was hard for me to come up with 101 things that I wanted. I feel like I just very clearly know what I want. I want the 3-2-1 no kidding recovery playgrounds built across the country, across the world. I want recovery to be I want recovery to be a tool that hopefully helps people sooner than I started my recovery journey. Like, everybody's going to be on their own path, of course, but if we could raise awareness, like, part of why I want the recovery playgrounds is to teach people recovery strategies. So that's one of the things. But also, I feel like I need to find a way to get enough exposure, I guess, and finances and influence to be able to impact things like the laws and some of the stuff that happens in the gambling world. Like my example the other day about how that lottery machine is a trigger, essentially. It's when it plays that little music in the store. And then I just saw on Instagram, one of the other podcasting groups for gambling said that 44%, something to the effect of advertising gets people to gamble. Like 44% of the people who see the ads will go gamble. Like, that's freaking disturbing. So it all has to do with my dreams. And I'm just kind of sharing with you what this homework reminded me of, because we wrote the list yesterday and then we had to like dig deep into it. And what is it really about? And I think I landed at wanting to save people's some time, some pain, the things that come with addiction. I obviously can't save everyone, but if we can get awareness out there and get in front of it, maybe someone who's starting to have those thoughts in their head might seek treatment sooner. If my goals are met, I'll have resources and ways to get people who don't have the finances to get treatment, because there is a money correlation. Like, that's just a fact. So it was very enlightening, and I'm very happy that my desires aren't about me necessarily, right? Like, I want to make a difference, and that's kind of crazy. I never really thought about it in such a big way. And it's a really good way to stay determined and to do all the things that I'm doing, because I think there's hope for change. That's the way I feel about it. All right, let's do today's reading. Thank you for letting me just kind of ramble where I'm at this morning, as every morning. Okay, Scott Peck says, life is difficult. Life can be hard, but when we start to feel sorry for ourselves, it helps to remember that it's hard for everyone. Obstacles and challenge are a given in life. What makes us think we won't have some problems too? Once we accept the simple fact that we're not alone in our hardships, we discover the secret within that thought. We're not alone. We can feel sad about what's befallen us. We have a chronic disease that affects every aspect of our being. But having the blues is a lonely thing. When we sing the blues, we share life itself with others. We transform our hardships into valuable lessons, and we gratefully affirm that we are alive and still kicking. Singing the blues can be a celebration that turns sadness and setback into something we can dance to. We can even be grateful that life is hard, for it might be without meaning if it were too easy, without challenge and opportunity for growth, without the risk that offers reward, without the mystery that sends us exploring. God sends us no more hardship than we can handle. In that way, problems become a measure of our strength. By handling them, we call our assets into play in a way we couldn't otherwise, and each challenge brings us new confidence and faith to go on. Today, let me gratefully accept my growth opportunities, even when they come in the form of problems. Wow, there's a lot in that reading, huh? Obstacles and challenges are a given. Well, that's true. I think we can all agree on that. We are going to run into obstacles and challenges. I really connect to the message in here that if life was too easy, it definitely wouldn't feel like it had purpose, and we couldn't celebrate the victories the way that we can once we've overcome something, or once we've grown, or once we've learned something. I'm a little stymied by the singing the blues. I'm not exactly sure what they mean by this. And if they mean venting, like in a group, or, like trying to get things off your chest and working through them, if that's what they mean by singing the blues, I can respect that, and I can appreciate that, like getting it off your chest. I would struggle with hanging on to singing the blues. I think it needs to be a one and done kind of thing. Maybe there's different blues to be sang, but I think if we hang on to that, I think that would stymie our recovery, honestly. I don't know that it's really easy to move forward if we're hanging on to the blues, the history, which we've talked about before in the form of, letting go of our past and not worrying about our future. We can transform our hardships into valuable lessons, and we greatly affirm that we are alive and still kicking. I like that. I like that sense of accomplishment. Now the way I function and thrive is by accomplishing things. It's just it's what gets me excited in the morning. It's what keeps me thriving, is getting things done, getting results. And they're maybe not always tangible in recovery at first. And maybe it's hard sometimes to even see some of the victories, because we don't see them as victories when they're happening. It's a process, right? Like, we have to be aware. We have to go through the muck to get to the other side, if we choose to view it as an opportunity. There's definitely a way to stay stuck in it, and then everything is just like a dark cloud. So I say, voice what you need to voice, journal it, sing your blues, maybe through a journal or through meeting or through trusting a friend. and then like move past it. I know that sounds like I'm being really easy, but that should be your goal, right? Get it, let it out, and then keep working past it. You saw me go through this the last 2 weeks with what I had to move past, and I still land at. I could sit here and whine more, and I actually thought about my talk for the summit. Do I use getting burned as an example for what I want to talk about? And it doesn't serve me. Like there was some hard learnings about trust and people, and I just have to get past it and be grateful for all the things that happen in the midst of the hardship and the struggles. And I got to vent. That was my singing the blues. I vented to my colleagues and peers that would understand what I was going through. But I need to relinquish it so that I can keep moving. I don't want to stay stuck in it. It's also important. This is probably a faith thing. God sends us no more hardship than we can handle. So whatever you believe in, so for me it's universe, or I really like the way they call it, source love. So now that I know that, now that I'm wrapping my head around the universe is actually a thing, like a galaxy in that context, like a scientific thing, I like the idea of love source. You may prefer whatever the God is of your choice. And if you think about it as every challenge and opportunity is given to you almost as a gift, and that you're not going to get given more than you can handle, it kind of reframes everything and makes it really easy to get over the future stumbling blocks as we try to live our best life once we stop gambling. That's how I feel about it. It's interesting when we're in, the darkest place, or we're in our heads, or we're sad, or we're having grief, or we're having all those things. If you could think about those things and those emotions as gifts and as ways that are helping you become a better person or a happier person, if it was along the way, would you embrace them a little different? Would you think about them a little different? I know that's been one of my biggest shifts in thinking. And if I could figure out how to give you that gift, like just hand it off without me having to, be repetitive in a million podcasts about it. If I could just snap my fingers and give that to you, it'd be a beautiful thing. But it's the process that actually gets us to the enlightenment has been my experience and what I believe in. So that's what I got. That was a good reading today. If you haven't checked out Veronica, her episode released this morning. She has a very amazing story, and you want to talk about obstacles turned into rewards, or I don't even know the right word, but someone who really took all the things that were thrown her way and the gifts that she's turned them into. It's just really a beautiful story. So I hope you have a chance to check out Veronica in the other show today. All right, beautiful people, have a fabulous, fantastic Friday. I am going to get to work now, but thanks for starting my day off with me. I appreciate it.